Hello and welcome to News 9 Show, the South Indian. My name is Sudha Sadanand. As usual, I shall bring to you 9 top stories from the south of India. Let me now begin with the first story coming up on your screens right now. Road rage rampage on the rise in Bengaluru. 2 cases reported in just 2 days. If that's not shocking, what is? That's our lead story, Bengaluru road rage rampage. If the killer pothole issue was not enough, the road rampage in IT city Bengaluru is also on the rise. 2 cases of road rage in a span of 2 days, and if that is not shocking, then what is? In the first incident, which occurred on 20th of August on Sarjapur Road, a car hit a bike and then began a show of uncontrollable rage. Driving the car was one S. Shankar, an IT professional who apparently took a sudden left turn and grazed the motorbike of 26-year-old Naveen Reddy, a resident of Bengaluru, who worked as a bouncer at a pub.
Papu, aste pola. Aste pola. Papa, aste pola. Papa, aste pola.
बच्चा है अंदर। बच्चा है अंदर। बच्चा है अंदर। पुलिस स्टेशन चलो।
टेंशन लो यार, टेंशन मत लो। कूल कोई भी कुछ भी नहीं करेगा। आराम से करो। पुलिस को कॉल करो।
नंबर बताओ। नंबर 1033 है।
मैं कॉल करता हूँ। एक मिनट रुको।
बैक करके पळेबो मां छुआ छी.
The man you see in the car, his name is Shankar, and the man outside, his name is Naveen Reddy. Now, after Shankar's car grazed Naveen's bike, Shankar drove off, which of course could be viewed as improper, and that made Naveen chase after him, block his way and threatening him to get out of the car. That's the visual that you're seeing on your screen. Shankar refused as he was riding with his wife and a child, and instead decided to record Naveen on video. At this point, Shankar tried to drive away, but Naveen Reddy lay flat on the bonnet. As you can see, a little while ago you saw how he tried to lay on the bonnet, grabbing one of the wipers and hitting the windshield with it, finally smashing it. Shankar kept saying, "There is a child on board. There is a child on board."
बच्चा है अंदर। बच्चा है अंदर। पुलिस स्टेशन चलो।
टेंशन लो यार, टेंशन मत लो। कूल कोई भी कुछ भी नहीं करेगा।
He says, "Let's go to the police station." Shankar, of course, lodged a complaint against Reddy at the Bengaluru police station, and Naveen Reddy was arrested and later released on bail. That's the kind of rage that you get to see in Bengaluru, on the streets and with a family. Look at that.
बच्चा है। बच्चा है।
The man in white t-shirt is Naveen Reddy, who is a bouncer at a local pub.
Papu, aste pola. Aste pola. Papa, aste pola. Papa, aste pola.
In the second incident, Mahesh, a 21-year-old delivery boy, was killed in a hit-and-run incident in Vidyaranapura. Based on the prelim investigation, the incident occurred around 10 p.m. when Mahesh and his friends were riding a bike. What happened next was this. A car bearing registration number KA02MU4824 being driven by Arvind, who was accompanied by Chennakesava, honked for way which Mahesh allegedly ignored. They kept honking, Mahesh ignored it. The men in the car were enraged and thus began pursuing the bike. The chase ended. Mahesh's bike rammed into a pole, causing Mahesh's death due to severe head injury. So much like what we see in Hindi cinema, a mad chase which ended in the death of Mahesh, who was unfortunately not even wearing a helmet at the time of the incident. What is with Bengaluru? It's not that I'm picking on Bengaluru, but 2 cases in 2 days, one leading to death and another to terror. Both the cases on a split screen on your screens right now. The first involving Shankar and Naveen Reddy, and the other Mahesh, Arvind and Chennai case.
Papa, aste aste poda.
Let me now go to my colleague Mohammad Vajiullah for more on this. Vaji, we saw this is terrifying really, you know, with the child, with the woman screaming and the child on board, Vajiullah. What more do you know about these cases, Vaji?
Well, the woman incident where she's screaming from the car and saying that there is a child inside and still this is happening. This is on 2 days back incident where Naveen Reddy, this particular man on the screen, who's banging the door of, banging the window shield of the door of the car, has been arrested as of now, and he's in the Bengaluru police station. Now, this also happened because of a scuffle that broke out on the main road where his vehicle touched his bike, and that is what raged him. And this is the and what we see in the video is exactly what he did after that incident happened. But the other incident which happened last night is something even more horrific, Sudha, because that has led to the death of one person who goes by the name Mahesh. That incident also happened at Vidyaranyapura, where in that CCTV footage which we have access of, we can clearly see that chase in which a person lost his life. Now, Mahesh is somebody who used to do small jobs at a delivery agent. He was a gig worker basically, and 3 of his friends were together with him in the bike, and they were traveling in the night from their workplace, is what we've been told. And that is when their bike touched the car of Keshav, and that is when those 2 people who were in the car, in that fit of rage, started chasing these 2 boys, the people in the bike. And that is when when they went inside these small lanes of the city, is when they ramped into each other, resulting in the death of Mahesh. Now, what we know is that 2 people have been arrested in this particular case. And the person who's accused in this case, the Arvind, the one who's driving, was a bank employee, was a manager at a bank. Now, this clearly gives you an idea about the rage that we are seeing in Bengaluru with on the road especially. And this comes a day before a notification that was released by the commissioner saying that he's advised the traffic police to take more stringent action against people who are drunk and driving on the road. And then the next day we see a situation like this. Now, this is really alarming and shocking, because now people are losing lives also.
Delhi was very famous at one time for road rage, and of course other metropolises like Mumbai as well. It was unheard of in Bengaluru, but do you think that a city which is actually now crumbling because of lack of roads, potholes in the roads, terrible traffic, you know, getting to a place which is around 4 kilometers away can take you 45 minutes to 1 hour. Is it what is happening? Because in most road rage cases, it's either someone being drunk. Now, in this case, nothing like that has come to the fore. You know, you're either drunk or under the influence of some kind of an intoxicant. Is it just that the people on the road in Bengaluru are now fed up, Vajiullah?
So that exactly, fed up, exactly. This is how it is, Sudha. Because if you really see the roads in Bengaluru, We travel on these roads every day, and there was a report that I had sent a few days back. That road is still exactly same. We travel on it every day. And yes, there are a lot of factors that can be behind the rage that people have on the road. That can be potholes, the traffic jams that we have over here. Then unchecked, you have police who keep stopping you at every nook and corner for something or the other. So all this combined is one reason. But in these two incidents that we are seeing, what we're seeing is that these are outskirts of Bengaluru. These are cities that have cropped up in the last 5 to 10 years, where at some places you have a lot of population, but on some places you don't have a lot of people moving around. And in these places where we see incident like this, so factors are really a lot. And yes, one of the biggest issues is the potholes and the roads that are there of Bangalore. That can surely be one thing.
Absolutely. On that note, I hope Bengaluru improves. Thank you so much, Mohammed Wajihullah, for joining us. Top of 5 o'clock on the South Indian to bring us the latest on what is going on Bengaluru roads coming up. And I'm going to take a break. But coming up, don't miss this story after the break. Kerala government slammed over why no police inquiry or legal action over the Hema Committee report. That's coming up after the break.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
One of my friends was residing here. Every rainy season, he will take his mom or otherwise even the dog also, pet dog also, he will take the pet dog and go to the resort, which is at Banasura Sagar Dam. This time around, he didn't. So, completely washed out. There is no idea about my friend.
हमारा फैमिली में रिलेटेड फैमिली था और उसके रिलेशन में तकरीबन 20 लोग मरा हुआ। अभी हमको पता नहीं सलाह भी मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा। अभी 5 दिन हो गया।
Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
This is News 9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News 9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
All right, our second big story on the South Indian is why no filing of cases in the Hema Committee report. That's the question we are asking, and we've pursued this particular story for almost 4 days. Now, after a long delay of 5 years, the Hema Committee report was finally released on 19th of August, highlighting the sinister underbelly of Malayalam cinema. How both minors and adult actresses were haunted by the male mafia who ruled over the Malayalam film industry. Women who were haunted by the paranoia of losing out on work or being singled out if they ignored sex on demand. No pay parity, of course, and the trauma of being pushed into a corner if anyone dared to speak against the mafia. That the report was delayed is in itself extremely worrisome. But today our other focus is also on how the Kerala police ruled out legal action, citing the lack of specific detail such as involved individuals or exact incident. Now, does the law not allow for a complaint to be registered in cases such as these? Is the Pinarayi Vijayan government taking the convenient route of not having to open a Pandora's box? Let's get an expert opinion. Joining me are several guests, but first up, I'm being joined by Kasturi Shankar, who is a lawyer turned actress, or maybe the other way around. She's also an activist, but I know for sure she's a lawyer and a very accomplished actress. Thank you so much, Kasturi Shankar, for joining us on this broadcast. Kasturi, we were trying to contact you for the longest time, but I know that you were busy.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wish I was able to. I wish I had been able to talk to you before, but
yeah,
I'm
sure.
better late than never.
But I know. Yeah.
It applies to the Hema Committee report as well. Very late, but better late than never.
Absolutely. You know, the delays that I mean, of course, it's all there on record about how the delay was because of COVID. Delay was because a lot of people were reluctant to come and talk. Then, you know, Women in Cinema Collective came forward and helped perhaps for people to open up. There was also about how a minister said that not now, maybe later. Then, of course, in July, there was coercion. But before we get into all that, and also a bit of legalese, Kasturi Shankar, I want to ask you, when I first did this story, there were several people who jumped on me and said, do not demonize our industry. I'm not here to demonize an industry. Does it happen in Tamil? Maybe. Does it happen in Kannada? Maybe. In Hindi? Maybe. Who knows? But we have to specifically speak about this because we have a Hema Committee report. Then there was that, listen, we are an evolved industry. Of course you are. You made beautiful films. But the point is, Kasturi Shankar, that however big or small you are, you do have to face what, for a lack of phrase, I would say, the mafia men of the industry who actually handle the purse strings, Kasturi Shankar.
Well, I think persecution, discrimination, gender disparity exists in pretty much everywhere where we women have to fight for equal rights and respect. And a meritocracy that actually believes in the capacity of women without labeling them as beneficiaries of some male members' benefactions. So I think that is there in every industry. I'm glad that the Hema Committee sheds light on the Malayalam film industry, because for the longest time, I think the disparities in the Malayalam industries, which are probably the greatest in South India, have not been talked about. We all think about Kerala as a very emancipated state where women are educated. It's the only South Indian state where women are greater in number, population-wise. So we think of Kerala as a place where women are better off than the rest of the country. And sometimes checks and balances like these are needed to give us that little jolt to act towards positive action. That's what I'm saying. I'm not very happy with the Hema Committee report in its present version. What we've heard now is heavily redacted. It has no names. Without any names and concrete complaints, concrete evidence-based accusations, it's not much better than a gossip column. That's my opinion. This entire question that you posed about, also I think about taking action. How can you take action on he said, she said, which is what the Hema Committee report is right now?
All right, but then, there are cases, and one lawyer has argued that, he said that it's redacted. Yes, you're absolutely right. He says, but there is a Supreme Court in Lalita Kumari versus Government of UP, where there was a habeas corpus, etc., etc. No case was registered. But then what I understood, and you're a lawyer, you're better, you're more efficient to understand this. He says that, you can possibly, in a case where there is a rape or kidnapping or murder or even kind of threatening or any kind of a thing, you can make an arrest without a warrant. He says there are guidelines where you can actually, register a case. Is that right, Kasturi Shankar?
I think in most cases that is possible. Unfortunately, today's sexual assault is also a heavily abused section of the Bharat Nyaya Samhita. So the police has become very in practical life. In theory, yes, the laws exist. In practical life, in real life, the police is forced towards inaction because of two reasons. One is because they have pressure from some higher level and the perpetrator is stronger than the victim. The other is that the victim is actually abusing the rape section to I don't know, for their own agenda. So it's not as easy as it is made out to be on paper. That said, again in the Hema Committee, there are no names have not been taken. This all started because of a female actor being kidnapped and assaulted in, I believe she was kidnapped from her own car and assaulted by a group of men who were hired by a famous actor. That actor's name is not a secret, and the Hema Committee falls short of releasing that actor's name. It does not give any additional evidence. So what action can the police take? Unless the victim herself goes and gives which she has done. The victim has gone and named Mr. Dilip as the perpetrator, as the mastermind behind her sexual assault. She has given the reason for that as being something that originated from the Manju Warrior and her friendship. She has named all these names. These are in the public domain. But nothing has really happened. I don't know why, because either there is evidence that has not come to fore, or there is no evidence, or maybe it was an exaggerated claim. Until the case comes to a close, we don't know what happened, and I will be in contempt of court if I give my own assumptions, right? But I can only name the names because they're in the public domain. The Hema Committee doesn't even take those names. It has not mentioned Mr. Tilakan's name. It has not mentioned Mr. Vinay's name, and these are not perpetrators. These are the victims. They have come in support of. Today, Sonia Tilakan has come out and talked about her father's shadow boy. But who are the dominant people? Sudha, who are the dominant people who committed it? Everybody knows, it's an open secret.
Yes.
The committee does name them.
That's
so
what I want.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, Kasturi, you nail it, Deepa Rahul Ishwar, if I can bring you on the screen now. She's a woman activist. Nice to have you, Deepa. Deepa, I want to ask you, like pretty much Kasturi Shankar said, I'm not happy with the Hema Committee report. What is he said, she said? Where are the names? Now I know that's a double-edged sword, because a lot of people said, please do not talk about us, as in if I had gone to, the committee or to WCC and said so-and-so harassed me or whatever, I also said, can it be confidential? So they kept it confidential. But look at it, it's like an entire curtain has been put on this. It's almost like Pinarayi Vijayan saying, now it is done, go home, be happy. He's now said there will be a counseling kind of a body which will be also kind of set up for 1 crore of rupees. But I want to ask you, what happens next? Deepa.
Sudhaji, I think, many a times what happens when such initiatives come forward is, I don't know what is the problem with, in the eyes of people. We are focused on the negative aspects of whatever is being introduced. If there is an initiative that comes up, the immediate thing is, how can we criticize it? I'm very sorry to say that I think this is also falling into the same line, because the Hema Committee, I must say, it is an extremely appreciable initiative by the left government. There are a lot of differences that people like me have with the left government, but this is something that is so appreciable that the government has appointed a committee.
Sorry, but what is so appreciable about it? What has happened so far? What will happen, Deepa? Throw some light. I mean, I'm not an actor here. I do not know if you are one, but Kasturi is an actor. And let me tell you, I know some of the biggest actresses, national award winners, who've said it happens. What can we do? But these are all men who, I can only walk out of the film giving a very lame excuse that, so, da 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 da. I want to ask you, what is so appreciable about it? That there is a committee? 5 years it took. 5 years it took, and now it's kind of lukewarm. Nothing is happening. Also, the Kerala police says, hey, how do we do it? The thing is, one lawyer, not Kasturi, has said, not Kasturi Shankar, but one has the minister Shaji Cherian even tried to talk to the police and said, can you investigate the matter? Everyone has kind of, put a zip on their mouths.
Are you saying that we are better off without the Hema Committee?
No, I'm not.
So
but
if we
then
didn't
what
have
is with
something
it?
like this, would you appreciate
Take
it?
action. No, look.
Yeah.
First
So
of
the
all, the
whole-
harassment,
no, no.
Deepa ji,
So
the
whole
harassment
aspect is that we have
is
something in place which is hopeful.
Let's move
it
on.
gives hope to the women.
Just an
It's
FIR
something that
doesn't
creates
work,
a lot
right?
of hope.
Ma'am, just an FIR doesn't work. If I'm eve teased or molested on the road, I will register an FIR. But that done, you have to move forward. Why isn't the police?
I think we should give it time.
Okay, so we
I
wait.
think we should give it
we
time.
waited
I think we
5
should
years,
give it time
ma'am.
about-
5 years, ma'am. We waited 5 years. All of us waited 5 years.
I think let's, of course, a lot of things. It's not just the Hema Committee. We saw about the what happened in Kolkata recently after Nirbhaya. We saw how long it took for the Nirbhaya, the sentence to be executed. So we know that everything here happens in its place, but that doesn't mean that things should not happen. So whatever is happening, it should be appreciated, while everything has room for improvement. I think we should look at it
sorry,
at a balanced
I completely disagree with you. It's their job and they are not doing their jobs. That's it. If my child is hungry, I'm saying, no, it doesn't work like Kasturi Shankar. Do you agree with what she says? Because I just think that doing due diligence is not a favor, Kasturi Shankar.
Even this was only initiated by the Pinarayi Vijayan government after the sordid saga of a leading actress in the Malayalam industry being unabashedly assaulted. It was nobody was speaking up for her. It was an offense and literally, phraseologically in broad daylight, and it was a complete mess. And still, perpetrators are yet to be actually apprehended. Everybody's free. So far, nobody has assaulted that particular person. She's married now. She's moved on. So this was actually started. Stage whispers were there forever. This committee was formed, I believe, in order to dilute the situation. Instead of an outrage, it was formed to quell the outrage that had surged up in 2017 following the assault of a female Malayalam leading heroine. So, in order to kind of assuage boiling tempers, the Pinarayi Vijayan government said, "Okay, here we're not doing nothing. We are forming a committee." So now the committee, after 6 years, in 2017 was the incident, 2024 is when the committee's report has been published. They are coming out and saying, yes, it's a sordid place. All this happens. Junior artists don't get water. They are made to stand in the sun. Really, people say don't demonize the industry. I will say that also. These kind of unnamed, anonymous allegations, they don't do any favors to the Malayalam industry. They don't do any favors to the government of Kerala, because what happens is it serves to generalize the entire industry. When the truth is, most producers are good, most banners are good. They make sure that the basic amenities are provided, and food usually, this is out of my experience, food usually is the same food given to the top hero, top actors, as well as the the lowest paid technicians and cleaning staff and crew of a movie team. But when you get allegations like this with no head or tail, it does demonize the entire industry. That's why I'm saying it has to be that there have to be little more concrete names. At least no need to name perpetrators, as you said. That may be under a curtain of, behind a curtain of anonymity or confidentiality, but you can name the victims.
Right. Okay.
The victims can talk. So if the victims are also shying away from talking,
yes,
then there's no use. Until the victims come out, and this is just about rape and sexual assault in every field, in public life, in caste killings. The victims have to speak up. Otherwise, there will be no.
But the way they are stigmatized, Kasturi, Shankar, and pushed into a corner.
Sudha, breaking. I will tell you this. I have done only a handful of Malayalam movies, and it is not because I was not booked in certain movies. I was booked for a movie called Narasimha with Mohanlal. I am not in that movie. You figure out why. Shaji Kailash was the director.
Okay, wow. I mean, a lot is I said there. You know, of course, people who watch Malayalam films will know. Deepa Rahulishwar, what really concerns me, and also, and let me tell you, it's not unusual in our kind of cinema. There are minors involved. Now, of course, there are lots of, heroines who make their debut at 13. Very famous heroines have made their debut at 13, 14, and of course, but in this case, what happens is then if there is a kind of, misdemeanor towards them, then it's a crime, Deepa Rahulishwar. What's your view on that? There are two categories. One is girls, they could be minors, and the others are adults who are women. Deepa Rahulishwar?
There is no justifying whatever is happening in the industry, but I would like to reiterate the fact that it happens in every industry. I work in the IT industry. I'm also part of the television industry. I've been an anchor, I've been an MC, I've acted in a couple of movies as an MC myself. I've seen all sides of most of the industries that I work in. So this happens in every industry. I appreciate the fact that actions are being taken, and I do not appreciate the fact that when actions are taken, it is taken to dilute the actual issue. I think that is looking at everything with a very, very criticizing eye and criticizing mind, because if this committee was not formed, I'm sure the same people would voice opinion that the government has done nothing. They've not even formed a committee yet.
Yeah, right,
sure
Deepa, I mean, we then belong, Deepa, then you and I belong to the same profession. Just because no one has been improper with me and no one dared to be in my long career, that does not mean that it doesn't happen with my other women colleagues. Girish Nochulli, who is an advocate from Palagad in Kerala, is also joining us, but on the phone line. Girish Nochulli, thank you for joining. Quick question to you. We're almost at the end of the show. Tell me something. Why is it that no cases can actually be, registered against the perpetrators? I mean, there are questions now by some of the lawyers in Kerala who are saying, why is it that Shaji Cherian cannot ask the police to at least take cognizance of the fact to at least register some cases, or it's a closed chapter?
Now it was coming to the public about the cinema industry regarding the sexual abuses. This only through the Dilip issue. But according to me, I was an actor in the drama as well as before 15 years ago. I was attended in a movie for a small role. One actor was with full drunkard. He came to that set of shooting set, and he is, before taking the shooting, he is using the abusive words. So, according to our experience, cinema industry is like that, but it is against a woman. It starts from years ago. But there is another view. There are some people are ready to share sexual lust with the cinema peoples. This is a fact. With mother and daughter coming to the set. This is also a fact. But now they think that the women in the film industry are like a prostitutes. It is considered by the...
What are you saying, Girish? Girish, I'm sorry, I take great objection to this. Please do not use that word. And also all this about stereotyping, mother-daughter coming. No, sir, just a minute, sir. I also am associated with in a way with the film industry. This is all stereotyping. Let's come to the point. Just stick to the point. Please, Nochulli sir.
So,
Girish sir, can a case be registered or not?
Yes, only one case is registered only against one Dilip. If there is compliance, because already it is discussed, below the age of 18 years, there are a lot of girls are coming to this industry in years ago. Now it is up there, it can be registered as a POXO case.
Yes.
Now the complainants are above the 18 years now at present. If they file a complaint before the police, they can register the complaint and FIR can be registered
All
and the
right.
culprits
You're saying
who are
pretty
accused
much, yeah.
can be
So,
arrested.
yeah, you're saying pretty much what Kasturi Shankar said. She was a lawyer herself. Thank you very much, Deepa Raulishwar. Thank you very much for joining. And like Kasturi Shankar said, that let the survivors come forward, and perhaps that's the way to go. But what I do not like about all this is an attempt very clearly by Pinarayi Vijayan government to put a lid on this and say it's a closed chapter. Thank you to all the panelists for joining me on this debate. Thank you indeed. And the next story which is coming up, actor turned politician Thalapathy Vijay unveils the party flag and anthem for his party, Tamizhaga Vettri Kazhagam. Eyes the 2026 Tamil Nadu polls. That's coming up.
Give it to me. Pass. We'll put new glasses in the windows and they keep breaking it. This is the fourth time you are playing football throughout the day. Will you win the world by playing football?
Yes, uncle. I will now conquer the world by playing football. Let's go to Germany.
World's largest football talent hunt, News 9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BVB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.
Big fan of Ian Bell, watching him very classy in all formats.
I find Durban quite a challenge, which is still an enjoyable one.
You're not allowed to bowl a bouncer, so that tells you that they want to see runs on the board.
बड़े अच्छे टूर्स किए हैं, बड़ी अच्छी यादें हैं हर जगह की, जहाँ मैंने पर्सनली क्रिकेट को बहुत एंजॉय किया है. ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड इंडिया में बहुत ज़्यादा एंजॉय किया.
I love playing again England and India, and they were both very different challenges.
Up close and personal with legendary cricketers like never before. Icons of the pitch. This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
And Muktiwani Yoda was aide to Sheikh Mujib came to my show. I told him that the family of Sheikh Mujib under captivity of the Pakistani forces. The first lady came with Sheikh Mujib and she embraced me and said, the God, the Allah has sent you to save us. Modi ji and the Hasina. During talk, she brought out this point again that Major Ashok Tara of Indian Army said me, my mother, my sister, my brother, we got independence on 17th December because of Ashok Tara.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
All right, this is such a happy story. Thalapathy Vijay unveils party flag and anthem. Look at that. The assembly elections in 2026 is going to be an exciting context with actor Vijay joining the bandwagon. The actor, who's gearing up for his release title Govt, and rightfully so, released his party Tamizhaga Vettri Kazhagam's flag and anthem at the party's headquarters in Panniyur in Chennai. This major milestone was achieved 6 months after he launched his party in February 2024. On the occasion, the actor, popularly known as Thalapathy, pledged to uphold equality for all living beings, work towards equal opportunities for everybody, and act as champions of unity, brotherhood, religious harmony, and equality. The party workers also pledged to follow the path of democracy, secularism, and social justice, and to serve the people with dedication. The pledge also said, and I'm quoting it here, "We will always appreciate the fighters who fought and sacrificed their life for the liberation of our country, and countless soldiers who fought tirelessly for the rights of our people from Tamil soil. I will remove the differences in the name of caste, religion, gender and place of birth, create awareness amongst the people and strive for equal opportunities and equal rights for all. I solemnly affirm that I will uphold the principle of equality for all living beings. Vijay has zillions of fans, zillions of followers. Actually, it's his fan club stroke political party. He is now trying to create a space for his party for a better Tamil Nadu. For lack of anything, he says, I want a better Tamil Nadu. Go figure. Will Tamil Nadu accept an actor turned politician going forward as it's been a tradition in Tamil Nadu? Let's debate. Vignesh Selvaraj, a political analyst, is joining us live on the broadcast. Vignesh, vanakkam, how are you?
Vanakkam ma'am, I am very much fine. And as you said, one more actor turned politician is entering into the fray. Like usually we would say one more feather in the cap and now one more actor in the political fray.
Yeah, we have a long list in Tamil Nadu. We have a tradition of MGR, of Jayalalitha, and also the kind of impact that the late Captain, Vijay also, kind of created. Rajnikant said, I'm coming. He never did. Now, this is something different, Vignesh, I feel. Because I feel here is a man who has a lot of following amongst the youth. Youth like him, middle-aged people. I've interviewed a lot of people, people at 50 also like him. They're saying Rajni sir is superstar, but let's not forget who Talapati is. Vignesh Selvaraj, do you think he will make a kind of an impact? And because look at it, there is DMK, now there is talk about another Talapati, Talapati's son, who's Udayanidhi, who may take over the reins as Deputy Chief Minister. There the BJP has divorced the AIDMK. AIDMK is floundering. Do you think that Vijay has a good chance?
Ma'am, if you ask me, Vijay has a good chance. Will he make an impact? Yes, definitely he will make an impact. Even Vijay sir made an impact. But the question is, Vijay is targeting the CM post. Whether that is capable or not, that is the big question. I personally think that is a very big road in front of Vijay, and which is not practically possible in 2026 itself. He might, for a long term actually, 2031 maybe it might be working, but how long he is surviving in politics, that will matter in 2031. For Rajnikant sir, it was a golden opportunity because Karnataka and Jayalalitha was absent and Tamil Nadu was in fumbles and everyone was waiting for a third front. But actually, for Vijay, this is the golden period. This is a golden opportunity also because Stalin was filling the vacuum created by the demise of the two leaders, and now people are starting to head this DMK reign also, and they are eyeing for a third front also. So this is the chance where Vijay could score. But unfortunately, I think that Vijay is not using that potential to the maximum because many actors who came into politics had made a good impact in Tamil Nadu politics. Even starting from Bhakya Raj and T. Rajendra, they also did something. Even Sarath Kumar did something in politics. But people elected only Annadurai, Jayalalitha, MGR. These people
reason. No, you have to tell. No. We know that. But what is the reason? Why is it that they can't possibly go for someone? I mean, Kamala Hassan was rejected. I mean, he's Valaganayagan. He's one of the superstars that we have. But he was rejected. Now he's with DMK. What did Makkal Nidhi Mayam do? Nothing. He speaks very well. He's got hits after hits, Vikram. But what happened? So tell me why people will not accept Vijay. See, also Vignesh Selvaraj, anyone who fights for an election wants to be the Chief Minister. They want to.
Yeah, so why the people might reject Vijay is, he is lacking that X factor which is not applied till date. See, Vijay has said he has entered into politics, but what is his vision, motto, etc., he is yet to say, but we can understand little of his vision and motto. For example, there was a statement regarding the CAA bill. CAA bill, anyone can oppose, anyone can support. That is his stand of the political party. But the solution which Vijay gave, that was debatable because CAA is such a bill that only we can apply through Supreme Court or judicial is the only way which we can scrap that. But he said a suggestion that state government cannot implement. So I can understand that Vijay is not fully aware of how politics work and how a government works.
Okay. But the thing is, they all learnt, no? Mr. MGR also learnt. He was an actor and then he learnt on the job. Jayalalitha was introduced, remember, in Madurai. She did not know anything. She was a novice. But then look at her. What a leader she was. She learnt the ropes like no one else could do. NTR in neighboring Andhra Pradesh was the same case. I'm asking you, do you think Vijay is trying to bring a breath of fresh air? You know, he's not going to talk about again and again caste. Although DMK says, I mean, we are a casteless party. Let me tell you, caste violence has increased the most under Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. Now, do you think he will represent the youth who want jobs, who want safety and security, who do not want to fight over what caste are you, what religion are you? Tamil Nadu does not have a problem about religion. It has a major problem about caste, Vignesh Selvaraj.
Yes. So, for all these questions, ma'am, today actually Vijay had the chance of explaining these things to his party members, to the people of Tamil Nadu also. Because flag is a very important thing in a party's structure, party's growing phase also. Vijay is introducing the party flag, but he is saying that he will explain the colors of the party, he will explain the nature of the flag in a different meeting. So how is this going is, people started to write, whenever a big director's movie releases, people will start to write criticism, and they will find decoding new layers which even the director doesn't know. Today that is only happening in social media. People started to decode the colors of the Vijay party's flag, and they are writing new stories. 28 stars represent 28 states, 5-star below in blue color that represents the 5 southern Indian states. That those factors even which Vijay doesn't know, people have started to decoding. And Vijay, I think personally, Vijay will make a summary of all the decoding, and which one is the best one he will announce in the upcoming party elections, party manifesto or everything. So Vijay had a chance of explaining everything in front of Tamil Nadu people, but today he had purposefully skipped that, which I assume that it is a very, very bad move, because he had a chance and he
but he said he will do his first conclave very shortly. You see, what Vijay is doing is almost treating his political party like a film. A little teaser, then a trailer, then a promo, then, release of the show. And that's because, and of course, when he released his flag and the anthem, fans were not allowed. It was very limited, is what my colleagues tell me in Chennai, that it was very, very limited. But do you think that if he explains himself, Vignesh Selvaraj, if he comes to the people and he says, okay people, this is who I am, does he stand a chance then?
Yeah, he has a chance, but I don't think, whenever there is a forefront election, any party which crosses 25% vote bank will easily capture the CM seat. But these parties, these well-established parties, DMK, ADMK, her core voters around 20%. So gaining extra 5% of vote is a cakewalk for them, whereas a new party with Vijay, directly getting 25% is a big chance. Yes, he might make a impact. He might be a spoil sport in many of the constituency if he plans everything perfectly. But directly 2026 in Vijay's hands, it's very difficult, ma'am.
I think it's very, very difficult. But see, certain things he's doing right, in the sense that he thanked his parents.
Sorry, I am not audible.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello? I think there is some audio problem with Vignesh Selvaraj. Vignesh Selvaraj, thank you so much, however, for joining us on the broadcast about whether Vijay will make it or not when it comes to the firmament of Tamil Nadu politics. Next story, which is coming up, is from Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu welcomes CBI back into the state, grants state government central consent to the central agency. That's coming up next. That's the story. Chandrababu welcomes CBI back into Andhra Pradesh. This is, the best example of how politics works. You rewind to 2018 when Chandrababu Naidu's government had withdrawn the general consent to CBI after he exited from the NDA. At that time, he had accused the BJP-led NDA of trying to topple his government using the central agencies. But the tables have now turned, and now Babu, who is an important part of the NDA, has granted the CBI consent to investigate the cases in the state. The notification came into force with effect from 1st of July 2024. But then it's not that Chandrababu Naidu is alone in doing this. He's just mirrored other BJP-ruled states. Also, from the time that he has come to power, Chandrababu Naidu has released one white paper after another, highlighting the corruption in the previous Jagan Mohan Reddy's government. There are several active cases against Jagan, and it is as well that the general consent shall give Chandrababu Naidu a handle to pin down Jagan in graft cases. All right then, we've come to the end of the South Indian, and as always, as I promise, I leave you with other top headlines from the south of India, which only this show gives you. That is the South Indian. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Lived up to their pre-tournament billing, delivering a series of less than convincing performances. With 2 draws and a solitary win.
Your son will be Messi. No studies, just football all day. Go my son, go. Make my face shine through playing football.
Not only your face but also the country's. I will conquer the world by playing football. Come, let's go to Germany!
World's largest football talent hunt, News 9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BVB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.
As the hub of terror shifts from Kashmir Valley to the Jammu region, the centre has appointed Nalin Prabhat as the new Special Director General of the Jammu and Kashmir Police. So why has the Home Ministry appointed an officer perceived as one of the best counter-terror specialists in the country to lead operations in Jammu and Kashmir? And can the new Jammu and Kashmir top cop control the terror spike? News 9 Plus decodes. Let us begin by understanding Prabhat's background. A graduate of Delhi's hallowed St. Stephen's College, Prabhat is no stranger to conflict zones. In fact, he has spent